Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. Delighted to be joined by once again by Dalton Smith. Dalton, first and foremost, mate, how's things?
Not too bad, you know. Think could be better this to start off the new year, but you know it's the same for everyone. We've just got to do the best we can.
The reason I wanted to talk to you today is obviously I've seen your Twitter thing about the Sky Sports when the pundits and all that in Sky Sports were picking their prospects to watch out for 2021. Now your name wasn't on the list, but you were quite diplomatic. You said some good champions in there, blah blah. There will be future champions, but I'll be top of the tree. So just elaborate more on that. Do you think 2021 you're going to showcase your skills, and do you think you're flying under the radar a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, I know it's still early on in my career, and I'm only 6 fights in. But you know, I think from what I showed and performed last year, I thought I'd have at least got a mention in there. But you know, I don't take it to heart. You know what I mean? I just put a little thing out on Twitter. It's nothing personal to me. I just put it out there. But I just thought I'd have at least got a mention on there. But you know, there's some great fighters on there. I'm just confident that I believe I'm gonna have a big year this year, and then I'm gonna push on to bigger things.
Do you feel like you're flying under the radar, even though you're six fights in, you're 5 KOs? Like I think I've been to 3 of your fights, and I said to you every interview, off camera and on camera, that I like the way you fight. I think you're a fan-friendly style. You come for the knockout. You do all this sort of stuff. So why do you feel like you're flying under the radar and you didn't get that mentioned? Do you feel like, I don't know, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't say like I don't think I feel like I'm under the radar, but I just thought, you know, my name was talked about a lot on Sky Sports and stuff last year, and I thought I'd have got a mention from somewhere, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's the fighting will talk at the end of the day. You know, Sky have been good to me with Matchroom, so obviously it's nothing personal, nothing what I've took to heart, but you know, I just thought I'd just put a little mention out there, but you know, it is what it is.
Definitely. Well, let's talk about then. Your last fight was out in August. Your toughest opponent to date. You've done what you need to do. You got in there and got the stoppage again. This year, when are you hoping to be out? Have you spoke to Eddie? You spoke to SDN? Have you spoke to anyone like that?
Yeah, like you said, I'm hoping to be out in February. Touch wood if the shows are still going ahead, and you know, I believe Eddie will be able to pull something off either way. But you know, every fight's going to be a little step up now. You know, I want to try and get some sort of youth title or international or something in my next fight. So, you know, I feel like I'm progressing every fight. I'm stepping up in opponents every fight. As you seen, like my last performance, the opponent on there was a step up. So, you know, I feel like I'm going in the right direction, going at the right speed, and you know, I just got to make sure I'm not rushing things. But I've got to make sure every fight it's a step up, and I'm learning something every single fight.
Thing is with you Dalton as well is the super lightweight, light welterweight division, whatever you want to call it nowadays, is stacked with talent. I mean, that you in the lightweight division, the 140-pound, 135-pound division is stacked. There ain't going to be any easy fights for you, I think, in 2021. Is that what you're hoping for? The biggest and best fights for yourself?
Yeah, you know, that's what we're in it for. We're in it to reach the top and fight the best. And obviously, the super lightweight division, it's probably one of the strongest weights out there. Not internationally around the world, but even domestically, there's some big fights out there for me. And you know, I know I'm not going to be struggling for fights, so that's a thing for sure. And you know, there's plenty of fights out there, but for me as a fighter, I've got to take it at the right speed. You know, I'm confident in my ability, and you know, I believe I can compete with the best in the world. But obviously, it's a business, and you've got to be able to become a 12-round fighter. You've got to build that experience up, and you know, I'm young. I've got a good team around me with my dad, STN, Matchroom, Sky Sports, and I believe they're the ones who are going to guide me to reach the top.
I'm glad you mentioned SDN there. We'll come on to them because I know Paul and Sean well, and I want to talk about them guys because they're doing great things for fighters. But I want to just mention, stay on the 140-pound division like you said there. Now, domestically, when we talk about the 140-pound division, obviously we've got Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. They're above. They're up the top there. But we've got guys like the British champion and ready rival. We've got Akiminas Brown. We've got Sam Maxwell, Tyrone McKenna, O'Hara Davis. I mean, it's stacked with talent. But for you, Like, are you itching to get your name in there as well when people start mentioning Dalton Smith with Tyrone McKenna, or Dalton Smith with Sam Maxwell, or Dalton Smith with O'Hara Davis, or Dalton Smith with Robbie Davis Jr., Lewis Ritson? I mean, the names go on and on here. So are you watering at the mouth at the thought of fighting these guys at some point?
Obviously, obviously I watch these fights and I think, I watch some of the fights and I think I'd love to be in there now fighting them. But I've got no need to rush. You know what I mean? My time will come and I'll be up there in those fights. And obviously you see a lot of young fighters where, the ability is better than fighters. But if they jump in at the deep end too early on and they aren't getting that experience, they come unstuck. And obviously that's what you've got to look at in this game. You've got to learn your trade. And that's what I'm in it for. I'm not in a, I won't be rushed. And you see the young fighters allow their team to rush them, and then they come unstuck when it gets to when it comes to the big fight. So obviously I know myself and my ability. I'm there with them boys, and I'll be competing and and winning those fights. But obviously I'm young in the game at the minute, and I'm just learning.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because obviously the time that we're in with this pandemic and stuff like that, it's you might get chucked into the deep end, because again it's the flying the opponents over and stuff like that. So you mentioned there that you're not going to rush, but you do believe in your ability when it comes to fighting these guys, that you can beat them. So with that being said, if push came to shove and you were offered a fight because there was nothing going on, there wasn't an opponent for you, or they couldn't get an opponent for a guy who's ranked top 10 in Britain, would you be ready for that? Would you be ready to say yes, or would you analyse it a bit more, speak to STN, speak to your dad and stuff like that, or would you just jump at it because it's an opportunity of a lifetime? What's your thoughts on that?
Me, for myself, I jump at it, but I know my team around me be like, look, it's a risky fight, this, that, and we're in it for the long goal. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I know, the teams around you, these certain people want to push me fast, but my team will not allow that to happen. But for me, as a fighter, I'd want to fight for a world title next week. But you've got to be realistic in the game.
Definitely. You obviously, Kell Brooks from Sheffield. Sheffield's had great fighters. We've spoken about this before. Dalton, Prince Nassim, Johnny Nelson, and Prince Nassim, and then Ryan Rhodes, and then Kell Brook. Now, Kell Brook's coming to the end of his career. There's a gap there now, Dalton. Sheffield's asking for that elite fighter, that world champion.
They need the next star, don't they?
Are you? Well, that's the question right there. Then, are you that next star?
100%. Obviously Sheffield supported me all the way from a young boy, even through the amateurs, and I work hard and I expect nothing less to reach the top and keep Sheffield up there as one of the biggest boxing cities. And I want to be the next big name coming out with Sheffield and following the footsteps of, obviously, like your big names, your Nazes, your Kells, Johnny Nelsons and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm confident I'll be the next name of Sheffield.
Talking about the 140-pound division at world level with the guys like obviously Josh Taylor, Ramirez. I'll get your thoughts on that fight. You've got Regis Prograis. I mean, it's world level. It's exciting as well. So gosh, man, you must be excited to just finally get up. You must be itchy knuckles to be fighting every week.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, you look at the weight, you look at the fights out there. You're not be able to fight every month and never get through everyone. But obviously, you look at the quality in the division. There's some great fighters out there. You look at our very own Josh Taylor, who I think he's the best out there at the weight. But yeah, it's exciting times for my division.
You watched Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia at the weekend. I'm pretty sure you were in Luke's camp for a little bit as well. What were your thoughts on that fight when it happened?
From the start, I always thought Luke was going to beat Garcia just on experience and who they fought. But I did say to myself, if Garcia puts in a performance and wins well, then we can actually say he's the real deal and he can actually fight, because Luke's a quality fighter. I just think it was a very good fight. Early on, he put Garcia down. Maybe he could have, jumped on him a little bit more, but you never know what the game plan is or what they're sticking to. But Luke's a great fighter. He's been one of those who's been very unlucky.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned STN there. Like I had the privilege of spending extended time with Paul Reddy and Sean O'Toole, and I mean,
sorry for you then.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you then.
They're both, yourself, though, and they're both genuine guys, really, really nice guys.
Yeah.
And I think the boxing as a sport need two guys like that who are just genuinely nice guys. But for you, SDN and stuff like that, how's that working for you?
Yeah, you know, Paul and Sean who at STN, you know, that they're real good guys, and I always say they're in it for the right reasons, and they've got the best interest in the fighters. And you know, this is not something new. I first built a relationship up with Sean O'Toole through the amateurs, and you know, I just kept in touch, and he was like, look, if you ever need anything. He was never one to push me to the professionals, and he just let me go at my own pace and what I wanted to, you know, what my vision was and what I wanted to achieve, and he never, you know, forced anything. And you know, everything I've asked for, Sean's been there and he's done that. And you know, I've got it's more of a friendship with him now. Mm-hmm. And obviously, I've from being with Matchroom, working with Paul, he's the same. You know, got the best interest in his fighters, and real good guy as well.
I totally agree. I echo that statement. Well, 2021, looks like it's going to be sort of mirrored to 2020 with the fight game and stuff like that. No fans and getting hungry for a fight date. But for you, for the people watching this interview and stuff like that, what can we expect from you in 2021? What are your hopes for 2021?
Hopes are to be a lot more active if, you know, this pandemic allows me to. You know, I want to be out there and get at least four or five fights in this year, but I know that's going to be hard to ask for. But you know, just stay on track, keep winning, and that's all I can ask for, and that's all I can do. You fought at the fight camp with no fans and stuff like that. How was that for you? Did you find it okay? Are you missing the fans? What's your thoughts? It was all right, to be honest. Obviously, when you walk down to the ring and stuff, it's like, you know, this feels weird. It's only the matchroom staff there and the cameras, but you know, once you're in the ring, you block all that out. You know, I've not experienced the full capacity stadiums where I've been fighting there, so I've not experienced that yet. So it's not been too bad. I enjoyed, obviously, fight camp with some experience and some setup, but you know, there's no better feeling to have the fans back, and that's what we're all looking forward to. I think in any sport.
Definitely, I totally agree, mate. So by the end of 2021, start of 2022, we can see Dalton Smith in there with O'Hara Davis, Tyrone McKenna's, the Lure Switzens. Is that what we're saying? Is that what you're saying?
That's what we're looking forward to. You know, keep winning, keep working hard, and then, you know, put my stamp down, and you know, I'll be respected. I'll be up there with those boys.
Definitely. Like I said to you before, when I first saw you fight in your debut, and I think I watched you fight in Sheffield again. I'm a massive fan. I like the way you fight. I like your style, and I think for people that haven't seen you fight, it's to definitely watch your next one coming up, because you're definitely going to be a fan-friendly fighter. And I appreciate your time as always for IFL TV, Dalton. Enjoy your weekend, mate. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Anytime, brother.
That man.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.